Oh, Matt's making content again? It's a dream.
Crumple, I told you to get out of my recording space.
Sorry about that, guys. I see you just met Crumple. He's a work in progress. Those of you who have watched my channel for a while have probably picked up on two things I really enjoy: Sonic and Lego. So you can imagine my excitement when I found out that Lego is doing their first official Sonic Lego set. This is all thanks to a little thing called Lego Ideas, which actually takes in fan submissions for what kind of licensed Lego sets they can do. Some examples include Sesame Street, Stranger Things, Back to the Future, etc. And the official Green Hill set that Lego Ideas recently put out is a really good set overall. It looks nice, it's built well, it's got some cool pieces, but there is one little problem with this set, and it's, well, let's see, where are the rest of the characters? Yes, as cool as the set is, it seems that Lego Ideas has unfortunately bought into the very popular but also extremely flawed mindset that Sega has, that being that Sonic is the only character that matters. And as Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic Heroes has proven multiple times, this is definitely not the case. But we need not despair. Even though Lego has not officially made other Sonic characters, there's a little website where someone has been making third-party Sonic characters. Now, those of you who know me as a Lego fan probably think I would shout blasphemy at the very thought or mention of there being non-Lego manufacturers. And granted, there's definitely some grade A garbage out there that I honestly don't care to think about. But thanks to one of my Discord members, Clodagh's Playhouse, I was actually made privy to the fact that there's someone on a website called eCrater who actually does some really good third-party Sonic characters. She also has a video on YouTube where she reviews the minifigures, and you can check it out in the link below. However, I felt it necessary to kind of do my own video where I review all the minifigures. And I definitely did this with her permission. I mean, it's not like she's going to send people after me for stealing her idea without even asking her about it. FBI, open up! Well, if I'm going out fighting. Alright, so I have all the characters right here, but are they really all as good quality as they look on their website? For this video, I'm going to check each and every one of them and kind of give them a rating on a scale of 1 to 10 based on how good they look. 1 being lowest quality and 10 being highest quality, you know the drill. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have everyone's favorite twin-tailed fox and faithful companion to Sonic, Tails miles per hour.
Yeah, unfortunately we're not starting off very strong. This is kind of a lackluster Tails, if I'm being honest. It looks really expressionless, and for some reason they give him pink shoes, which is weird. And the painted on tail is what they do for all the characters, but I don't think it works too well for Tails. They probably should have just made an extra piece for him. And his ears seem a little too small as well. But to his credit, I guess he does come with a wrench, so something, I guess. All in all, I'd say this minifigure gets 2 out of 10.
Next up, we have longtime rival to Sonic, Knuckles the Echidna.
Knuckles does look a little better, and I do love how they gave him his actual punching gloves or boxing gloves. I think his head might be a little too long for his body, but I guess that's expected for the type of snout he has. Painted on tail definitely works better too, since it's smaller. And they definitely did a better job on the eyes for Knuckles. All in all, I'd say this minifigure gets 6 out of 10.
Next up, we have Sonic's #1 fangirl, and definitely not girlfriend, because that should be Sally Acorn. Fight me in the comments, I don't care. Amy Rose.
Amy actually didn't come with a hammer. This is one we made from scratch with the help of my little brother, actually. Honestly, they're kind of going off of the Lego Dimensions thing of Amy having a physical skirt. Don't really like it because it's a little hard for her to sit down. She can't sit down all the way. And you can't take the skirt off because, yeah, that doesn't work. Unfortunately, the pupils are a little too close together, but overall, the head isn't that bad. It's definitely better than Tails and Knuckles. I'd probably give her 7 out of 10.
And how could I ever forget one of the most popular characters? Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, unfortunately Shadow also has a weird problem with his eyes. His pupils are a little tiny, and the red eyeliner-like things are like on his eyes as opposed to on his eyebrows, so that's a little weird. He doesn't have any red stripes on the back of his head, which is a little weird looking, but his shoes look pretty good, and he's okay overall. I'd say Shadow's a solid 6 out of 10.
Next up, we have Sonic's arch nemesis himself, Dr. Eggman.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Eggman just kind of weirds me out. His head is way too big and his body is too small. But proportions aside, they did a pretty good job on his decaling. I don't know, it's just a little weird to me. He either should have been a regular minifigure or maybe like a big fig, like it was in Lego Dimensions. Yeah, it's a good effort, but I really don't think this is a good look for Eggman. I give it maybe 2 out of 10.
Next up, we have another one of Sonic's most deadly rivals, Metal Sonic.
They actually did a really good job on Metal Sonic. I'm a big fan of the decaling they did for him. Their detail's really good on all the minifigures, but for some reason it's this one that really sticks out. Lots of great painting on the robotics and stuff. The little engine in the back is really good. Probably the only nitpick is I kind of wish his eyes would be a brighter red, but honestly there's only so much you can do when you're painting on black. So Metal Sonic's good. I give him definitely a 8 out of 10.
Next up, we have Sonic's most powerful form, Super Sonic.
Super Sonic's pretty decent overall. I think there's a weird coloring going on with his arms, and his head does come across as like a little too tiny for his body. Oh, no spines on the back, just noticed that. But overall, I think they did a good job with him. It's still pretty decent. I'd say Sonic gets maybe a 6 out of 10.
Hailing from the future is one of my favorite characters, Silver the Hedgehog.
Yeah, unfortunately, I actually broke Silver's nose off when I got him. That's not the manufacturer's fault, that's totally on me. But other than that, I think his head might be a little too small compared to the other characters anyway. But then again, I can't blame him too much for it because Silver's got probably the craziest head of any Sonic character. I think they forgot to print a little bit of his shoes, unfortunately, because they're still a little gray showing up. But his cuffs look good, gloves look good, and they actually decaled his back, which is nice. I'd say he's like a 7 out of 10. I'm not deducting points for the broken nose.
Next up, we have the fiery princess from another dimension, Blaze the Cat.
They did a great job on Blaze. She's really solid, and she actually has a detachable hairpiece, which is interesting. We want to keep that on, otherwise she just looks weird. Yeah, they did a pretty good job on her expression, her eyes, her dress looks really good. They remembered the fur cuffs. They even detailed her tail on the back of her legs. Yeah, she's really good. They did a good job. I'd say she's a 8 out of 10.
What? Leader of the Babylon Rogues, we have Jet the Hawk.
Pretty good design on Jet, though he has the same problem as Silver does. He doesn't have any decaling on the top of his feet for some reason. But they did a good job on his head, although I think his back feathers are a little out of balance. His bottom ones seem to be way too long, and his short one's not long enough. But his goggles are there, really good. They did a good job on his beak. They got the decaling pretty good. Nothing really on his back except for his tail. I'd say Jet would probably be a 5 out of 10.
And next up, we have Big the Cat, Small the Cat.
Oh, big. What did they do to you? Just like with Dr. Eggman, I think LEGO Dimensions had the right idea of making him a big fig. It just doesn't work as a small figure. I mean, the decaling's pretty good. He doesn't have anything on the back. His head is alright, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. He just looks really off. It would have been better off going the big fig route. I'd say, as good of an effort as it is, Big will probably just get a 4 out of 10.
Everyone's favorite adorable little rabbit, Cream the Rabbit.
Oh, they did a really good job on Cream. They actually gave her the short minifigure legs, which is what some of the Harry Potter characters started having. But yeah, she's really adorable. She's got good decals, and her ears are also detachable. We probably want to keep them on. She's even got her little tail in the back. She's got the shoes. Shoes look good. I'd give Cream a solid 9 out of 10.
The all-muscle, no-brains of the Babylon Rogues, Storm the Albatross.
Sweet glory, Storm. They could have done a better job on you, that is for sure. Yeah, something really weird is going on with his eyes. And believe it or not, when his head detaches, apparently his fur is part of his head, giving the illusion that it's basically a beard. And yeah, I don't think that works. That's a little strange. They kind of slacked off with the decaling on this one. That's mainly because his beard is part of the mold. So yeah, I don't think this isn't a good look. He also should have been a big fig. Sorry, Storm, but you're gonna have to get a 1 out of 10.
one of the purest of Sonic characters who definitely saved our butts in Sonic Adventure, Clodagh the Echidna.
Clodagh, one of my favorite characters right here. She's pretty good for the most part, though I think something went wrong with the molding of her head because it doesn't actually go on all the way. You have to like really, yeah, that just doesn't work because then you had to move her arms and it pops right back off. But honestly, her decaling is really good. They did a good job with the dress and everything. She's got the tail. I think her quills on her head might be a little too big. Not perfect, so I'd give her maybe 7 out of 10.
And next up, known for his debut in Sonic Triple Trouble, yeah, that was a Sonic game, Knack the Weasel, aka Fang the Sniper, whichever one you want to go with.
Not sure what's going on with Knack the Weasel. His head is a little small. He did come with a cool little silver pistol though, so that's kind of neat. And apparently his head is actually compatible with a real Lego fedora, because that's pretty much Indiana Jones fedora right there. So you could put like another hat on him, but now he just looks weird with no hat. He's got the tail in the back. Decaling's pretty decent. Overall, I'd say maybe 6 out of 10. Could be better, could be worse.
Next up, the most skilled ninja in all of Mobius, maybe even the only ninja, Espio the Chameleon.
They did a really good job on SBO, in my opinion. His head's pretty good size. His decals are pretty good. He's got the little ninja bands right here, and the shoes, and the spines. He's even got the swirly tail. Yeah, I really don't see a problem with him, honestly. Honestly, I'd say he gets a 9 out of 10.
Guardian of the Chow, and according to Eggman, the god of destruction, Chaos Zero.
This is one of my favorites right here. His decaling's really good. I do feel like they probably could have made him a translucent figure, like see-through blue, instead of just plastic blue. But I guess there's only so much they can do. I don't know if they can work in translucents. But he's pretty good. It does kind of bug me that his head quills are flat rather than a little more rounded, but again, I guess there's only so much they can do. I'd say Chaos gets 8 out of 10.
All bark, all punch, Bark the Polar Bear. That was awful.
Yeah, Bark is kind of cool. Kind of like with Knuckles, they gave him the boxing gloves, not the real Lego hands. The same issue I have with Big and Eggman. He clearly would have worked better as maybe a big fig, or just a bigger figure of some sort. Well, I guess he's not that big, but even as a small figure, he looks a little off for some reason. He's got the scarf, though, and he's got the beanie, so he looks pretty alright. I'd say I'd settle with maybe 8 out of 10 for him.
A squirrel that can also fly, Ray the Flying Squirrel.
I like what they did with Ray. They kind of went for his comic design with the goggles and the scarf and everything. He did come with a cape that was supposed to represent like his wings, but honestly it looked a little off to me, and I just didn't like how in the way it was, so I kind of got rid of it. But he looks fine without him, honestly. He's got the tail, he's got the gloves and the scarf. He looks really good. Head is definitely more round compared to other Sonic characters, which really sticks out with him. I'd give him 7 out of 10.
A wildlife expert that protects us from the government and aliens, Styx the Badger.
Styx has got a really good design because she's got a lot of decaling on her figure as well. They really pay attention to the detail on these guys. For some reason, she's got detachable little ponytails, but I'd rather not take them off because they're a hassle to get back on. Her face looks pretty good. Nothing really stands out as looking too bad on her, so I think she definitely passes. I'd give Styx a 9 out of 10.
Last and certainly not least, and somehow the best minifigure in the whole batch, Infinite.
Yeah, strangely enough, Infinite is the only figure where I didn't notice any flaws at all. Like, whoever did this guy did a really good job. He looks great. He's got the little red energy things for his hands. They got the Phantom Ruby on his chest. His helmet is very silvery, which I like. And holy cow, these spines or whatever must have taken forever to get right, especially like painting them. They got his tail on the back there. He's got great decaling on his helmet, so he looks good. He looks really, really good. I'd say this is the only character who gets a solid 10 out of 10 for me.
And that was all the minifigures I got from the Sonic batch. Even though I kinda poked fun at them, they're still pretty well made, all things considered, especially when you consider what we could have gotten. Plus, you never know, maybe some of the ones I got were misprints. I mean, they do have to make a lot of these. If you want to find these guys yourself, I would just Google Sonic Lego minifigures and I'm sure you'll find them somewhere. I was on a website called eCreator, but I'm sure you guys will find them other places too. That's all the time I have for this video, and I just want to thank you guys once again for being so patient with our Search for the Lost series and just all our videos in general. We got a lot of projects in the works, that's why so many of them are taking so long. We hope to get them off the ground soon. You guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in another video. FBI, open up! Excuse me, looks like they're back for more.
Looks like it came back for more.